Hi, my name is Reverend Laura Carey, and I was ordained through the Chaplaincy Institute of Maine in the year 2011. Wow, as I say that, I find it hard to believe that I have been an ordained minister for almost 10 years. My occupation is as a caregiver, chaplain, all around support person. I started my own business probably about 4 years after being ordained, and my business is called Heart Song Caregiving and Ministry Services. And that involves a lot of different things. In truth, prior to going to chaplaincy school, I really thought I wanted to be a hospice chaplain. I had been a hospice volunteer and found that a lot of my volunteering involved pretty spiritual interactions with my clients. And I saw how the end of life is really such a deeply spiritual time. But I discovered that the clinical piece of hospice really wasn't for me, and that I really missed the hands on caregiving piece. I also realized that at end of life, as we grow older, things happen a lot slower. And I really wanted to have that time that happened when I was doing the hands on support to be with families. So, after the support and encouragement of quite a few of the remaining families of previous clients I had had when I worked through the agency, encouraging me to start my own business, saying that I had the chaplain piece, I had the caregiving experience, I love to sing, and I often involve singing with my clients, not only at the end of life, but as a deeply spiritual, uplifting thing to do. So that's kind of what I do. And how I got to this place is really a lifelong process, I think. I was raised in a home that was encouraged to help people. And spirituality was always a part of my upbringing as well. And so I feel like it just kind of brings everything together, the spirituality, the love, the support, and I believe strongly in helping people stay home if that's possible. So that's a little bit about who I am and what I do. And I hope this makes sense. Thank you. Bye bye.
Hi, my name is Joanne Arnold. I've made 2 or 3 videos, and each one seems supercilious and somehow beside the point, so I'm going to give it another try. I'm a strength trainer by profession, have been for about 25 years, but I'm an artist by nature and a chaplain by calling, and photography is the language of my connection with the world these days. Also the language of the connection to my own self. And that's a very important part. It's not an outward process, it's a deeply inward process where finally those two extremes, outward and inward, don't seem so different anymore. Anyway, photographing the landscape around Portland, Maine, I encountered the unhoused on the streets of Portland, and I was damn tired of all the strategies I had to avoid the unhoused population, and it was a moment of reckoning, stepping up to the biases that I saw in myself. And to make a long story long, I now meet with this group 3 to 4 times a week and supply donated resources, really simple resources like socks and water and coats when it's cold, sweatshirts, you name it. We spend a little time together. In essence, we connect. And to show up to my own heart in that equation allowed me to be more present to all these other hearts. And whether those hearts were broken or tattered or torn, they were hearts, and we could connect, even if just for a moment. And connect through the photography, which has been an astonishing and intimate experience of experiencing the ineffable amongst us. So yes, as a chaplain, showing up is not always easy, and this was an opportunity to show up to my own heart, and the more I did that, the more others stepped up and revealed their hearts. And the gift of this equation has been a really ferocious love, a really tenacious and ferocious love that transcends reason. Yeah, thank you.
Hello, my name is Craig Werth. I'm an interfaith chaplain, among many other things, and I was ordained by the Chaplaincy Institute of Maine in 2017. Chaplaincy shows up in every dimension of my life, in a formal way as pastor of a tiny and mighty Unitarian Universalist congregation in Nottingham, New Hampshire, which started as a CHIME internship and grew into this being my 4th year as pastor of a church. I also use chaplaincy in an informal way in my work at a center for people living with brain injury. I have a men's support group, an improv theater group, a songwriting class, and other opportunities to work with people to help them reconnect with spirit, with something greater than themselves, with finding meaning in their lives in new ways. And chaplaincy informs every relationship I have, from my relationship with Liz at home to my family, my friends, my community, my colleagues, and strangers, and myself, as I have come to know in a very intimate and accepting way my shadow side and my imperfections, all my gifts, so that I can use these with intention out in a troubled world. Started as a very empathetic, tender-hearted kid, drawn to study music and psychology, worked in social services for a number of years, and then in education, working with students who were challenged in school for many years. Went on the road as a musician at the age of 50 for 5 years, traveling around the globe with another artist and bringing my own songs around. Came off from that, lost without identity, not knowing who I was anymore. Somehow got guided to the Chaplaincy Institute of Maine and found a beautiful fit after vetting them carefully with my wife Liz and finding that they walked the talk. I went on that journey, and it led me here, which is a place I am ecstatic with. The rewards are different than I imagined they would be back when I was a kid. Yet there are so many gifts in the quality of this life, in the fit with my soul in the work that I do, in having a mission that I'm truly honored to be on, in learning every day, in finding love everywhere I look for it. I am so grateful.
My name is the Reverend Helen Rousseau. I was ordained through CHIME in 2015. I came to CHIME with a deliberate intention. I wanted to live more mindfully and to be present to the life I was living. My spiritual life had had a circuitous path for sure. I was born and raised in a strict Catholic environment, and it was very normal in those days to go right into the convent right after high school, which I did. There were many joyous years, and what the convent gave to me was a structured schedule of prayer, meditation, and time to spend alone in chapel. It was a very insular life that I didn't realize at the time. And when I left, I went to Boston University School of Theology. And there I met people from all different faiths. And it was an amazing experience to be in this interfaith community and to learn that my narrow view of the world was not the only one. There was a larger world out there with a lot of faith traditions. From there, I lived in an interfaith community for a while. Unfortunately, I had a period that was a very dark night that I won't talk about, but that made me feel like God had abandoned me, or maybe I had abandoned God. And through therapy, which I thought was just to deal with emotional problems, I came to a deeper spirituality. I found my spirituality again. And after that time, I needed to find a space where I could bring all my experiences together. How could I combine my past, the Catholic Church, interfaith, with a life that I wanted to live now that was more open, aware of the world? And so I joined CHIME, and there, with 2 wonderful years of learning about all the different faiths, I was able to pull together a new life. I was also able to realize that I didn't have to do ministry like I had done ministry before. I was a writer. I was a leader of writing groups, having trained in the Amherst Writers and Artists program. And I was also interested in spiritual direction. And that is the path that my life took. And so I think it's important to realize that our calls to ministry are as varied as we are. And CHIME gives us a time to sit with that, to go deeper, and to see where our particular gifts are welcomed and needed in this world. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Larry Greer, Pastoral Coordinator at Hospice of Southern Maine. I'm also a member of CHIME's inaugural class of 2004. I have been with Hospice of Southern Maine for 15 years and continue to find the work meaningful and rewarding. Hospice chaplaincy is a ministry of presence. The ability to be present, to be in the moment, to sit in the pain and the suffering as well as the joy without agenda or judgment. Hospice of Southern Maine employs 5 chaplains, 1 assigned exclusively to the Gosnell Memorial Hospice House, and 4 who visit and support folks in their homes. Hospice of Southern Maine also has about 150 volunteers who support folks at the Gosnell House, as well as in their homes in both York and Cumberland County. I began my journey with hospice as a volunteer. As I was completing my BA at Goddard College in thanatology, my advisor encouraged me to sign up and volunteer to deepen my understanding of death and dying. And shortly after that, I discovered CHIME and enrolled in the first class. It was at CHIME that I began to hone that art of presence. I did return to Goddard College to complete a master's thesis, Presence Ministry for the End of Life. If you feel you are being called to hospice ministry, hospice chaplaincy, I would encourage you to become a volunteer. The training is powerful and the work is precious. I would also invite you to think about, as you come to the close of your ordination program, to enroll in a CPE or a CPT program, as many hospices require at least 1 unit for employment. So for now, I wish you many, many blessings, and may your heart and your calling align together. Peace.
Hi, my name is Lori Whittemore, and I am the Director and Supervisor for Clinical Pastoral Training Center of Southern Maine. We offer clinical pastoral education or training that is based primarily in community organizations. So what is clinical training? Clinical training leans on 5 legs of a stool. The first leg of the stool is, in fact, your time in clinic, practicing the art of ministry through chaplaincy or pastoral care. Another leg of that stool is preparing case studies in which you reflect on the work and what's happening to you while you're giving care. Another leg of the stool is group process seminar, where you present those cases for consultation from peers in your peer group, and also a place where you offer consultation to your peers. The group process is a place where you can gain skills. It's also a place where you can study yourself dynamically in group. The fourth leg of the stool is didactic training, where we draw on psychodynamic teachings as well as competency training towards becoming a clinical chaplain. And the last leg of the stool is individual supervision, where you meet one-on-one with your supervisor, who is me, to process what's going on with you through the training. So the culmination of these 5 legs prepare you through units of training to move on to certification if that's something you choose to do. And becoming a board-certified clinical chaplain or a board-certified pastoral counselor is a credential that moves you closer to having to seeking employment as a professional chaplain in the world. If you have any questions or you want to learn more about the program, please visit us on the web at www.abbeyofhope.com/CPT, and you'll find my contact information there if you'd like to talk to me further about this.
Greetings and namaste to all the faculty, alums, students, and clergy at CHIME. My name is Reverend Rhonda Schienle, and I serve as board chair to WorldAWAKE. WorldAWAKE is an international and spiritual organization that serves as a home for interfaith clergy, chaplains, seminary students, as well as spiritual care professionals. Our 4 pillars are to empower, support, promote, and inspire our members in their respective fields and communities. The way in which we bring forth these 4 pillars are through continued education, workshops, resources, networking, including, if you so choose, to present at our retreats and conferences or be a vendor. There are also opportunities to be featured in or writing for our Awakening Spirit blog and or newsletter. WorldAWAKE creates what is called a personal professional profile page. This is wonderful to have a professional item that you can send, a profile page that you can send to your colleagues or other spiritual organizations that includes your bio, your membership, your certifications, ordination, and so forth. It's a wonderful feature to have all in one place, and a link just for you to send to your colleagues. Another featured item we have on the website is a directory search, and that way other people in the community, your communities or globally, can find you in a search directory. So we hope that you take a moment and look at our website at worldawakeinc.org. That's worldawakeinc.org, and look at all the different benefits and services that we have to offer. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to go to the Contact Us button and send us a message, and we'll be very happy to answer any questions for you. Thank you so very much, and blessings to you all.